He's to the 10. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Denver score. A great effort there with his second touchdown of the game, number 7 on the year. And the Broncos use the short field to their advantage as they cash in for 6. And he's able to put it through. Now McManus on to kick this one off. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. And the Seahawks get ready to trot out on the field. They are looking to make a bit of a 180. They are sputtering right now.
And frankly, I think it's time to call your playmakers together and say, all right, guys, we're going to lean on you through this patch. We need you to get us back on track and get us going in the right direction. So you're calling plays geared to them. Not necessarily what you look at your plays, oh, this hurts the defense. I want the ball in the hands of X, Y, and Z and see if we can move forward.
So don't get too cute. Go to the playmakers. And after the play on the ground, that brings up second down here. They'll run again now with Darkwan. And this carry not as productive. He's swallowed up at the line of scrimmage. They'll say no gain on the play there. Now it'll be third down. They go play action with Wilson. Sliding out of the pocket. He can run for it, and he will. And he's got daylight. It's a foot race. And all the way in, touchdown Seattle. Russell Wilson, his 6th touchdown of the season. And the Seahawks are able to cut into that deficit. That's the score you felt they had to have here in the third quarter to get back in this game.
And you know that there's an emphasis on their side. Hey, we know this. We know where we are. But sometimes that binds you up so much that you try too hard, you don't get the score. A perfect combination of urgency, yet relaxed enough to get it done.
Isaiah McKenzie now on the return. And he's got Rome. He's got a convoy, and he might be gone. The 20. And the Denver Broncos are in for 6. I know a lot of special teams coaches, they just want to keep it away from him because that's what he can do.
And others have egos that their players can't keep up with. And they say, challenge him. Kick it to him. The way he runs as fast as he is, I wouldn't challenge him at all. I'd do everything possible to keep it away.
He is just a blur when he gets a full head of steam, and he got a full head of steam there. So now the other return teams out there as they'll try to duplicate what they just saw. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Seahawks offense now, they get ready to head back onto the field. I guess they have to feel a little gratified to at least get on the board last time, but still work to do.
No doubt about it. I wonder now if they're going to try to increase the urgency a little bit, maybe pump up the pace, maybe go 2 minute. Who knows? Let's see what they decide to do.
Now a play fake here on first down. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Well, they go play fake. The problem is nobody was faked out.
And when no one's faked out, what's the end result? Quarterback gets hit.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And his rough afternoon continues. He's going nowhere again. No gain on the play this time, and it'll be a 3rd and long situation coming up. 3rd and long. It's Wilson. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down.
And attempted a deep ball there. They didn't get it. But, boy, they're going to need a few of those to actually hit in order to get back into this game.
Good thing they do have a little bit of time here still left in the contest. Decent-sized deficit, but not one that they can't manage. And take it right on the 30. Call that an even 50 yards on the punt with 7 on the return. And out will come the offense as they take over. Now the Broncos offense, they get set to head back onto the field. This is sort of what you would call a put-away drive, isn't it? They score here, especially a touchdown. It's almost out of reach.
It certainly feels that way, and I think that they're going to call their plays accordingly because What you really want to do, even though you know the scoreboard is still up there and the game's going to go on, I think you can take the spirit away from another team. That their drive and will to come back and win can be taken with another score right here.
It's still third quarter, but you just get that feel.
Yeah, they're teetering right there on the brink, aren't they?
And a scary incompletion, almost picked off. It would have been their first INT of the game. Instead, second down. Offense looking to avoid a third and long. It's 2nd and 10. Now they try the right side here. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. Give him 14 yards there and a Denver first down. We should mention, to go along with a great game he had last week, he was rightfully named AFC Offensive Player of the Week.
And he shares that with his offensive line, the tight end, his fullback. He's looking for more and more of that in this game.
And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line.
Yeah, let me puff out my chest a little bit, even though I'm not rooting for either team. But that was a really nice defensive play. It's awfully fun to watch, even in an offensive game.
Defense in a good spot. Let's see how the offense responds with a 2nd and 13 now. Now Rodgers. Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. A good pickup there of 20 yards.
We always talk about having to read defenses and how complicated that is. Well, this was an excellent read. Read the pressure and got rid of the football before it even got to him for a nice game.
And when they're blitzing like that, running back usually a good spot to go with the football?
Without a doubt, because he's right in your sight line or he's near you. So you're able to just get it to him easily. And once he gets in space, that's usually a good matchup for him.
And his first carry, he loses the football.
Wow, that ball gets knocked free, but a teammate comes along and scoops it up. It's almost like baseball. Guys at bat, people are on base in scoring position. One guy doesn't get him home. The next guy comes through and picks him up.
And avoids the turnover. The Broncos on third down. They've had their troubles. Just 1 for 6. This is 3rd and 4. Now a toss play. This is Pumphrey. No gain on the play there, and it'll bring up 4th down.
Well, it was stopped on that play. We've had plenty of carries all afternoon. Every now and then the defense is going to win one, but I don't think they'll shy away from handing it to him the rest of the game.
And McManus able to put it through. And that will push this lead up to 20 now. So 3 field goals for him here, and this last one helps him stretch out the lead.
And he's been solid as usual. And this is what you need to do. Make sure you get points out of every possession. And so far, they've done a nice job of that.
After splitting the uprights, McManus to kick it away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Seahawks offense now, they get set to go back to work. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
Give him a couple on the carry there. 2nd and 8. Play action. It's Wilson.
Defenses always talk about earning.
And my goodness, another interception. Picked off around the 37. And he takes this one back into the end zone. And the Bronco defense has a touchdown. Well, this has just been obviously a dreadful day for him throwing the football. Now 4 interceptions. This one leads to 6 points going the other direction. Tough.
Yeah, it is, and this feels old school to me because you never really took out your starting quarterback back in the good old days. No matter what was going on, he was your guy, and you rode him for better or for worse. In today's football, usually we've got a backup who's warmed up and has come into the game, so you can see an old school approach here that's not really benefiting them at this point.
And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Here come the Seahawks now, set to take over on offense. They have been struggling. I would imagine at halftime they went through some possible changes. Well, those changes aren't working, so now where do you go?
I think that now it's much more in their head. And what I mean by that is just what you said. You've gone over.
And now a fumble. The ball's out. It's picked up by the Broncos. And they have possession, and they have it at the 38-yard line. Often on fumbles, you look at the guy who coughed it up and say, geez, what did he do? But, hey, let's tip the cap to the defense here.
Not a problem at all, my man. I'm not even going to tip it. I'm going to doff my cap to him. Congratulations. Big-time play. Knocking it free and creating something good for your team.
Fighting his way down to about the 35-yard line. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be second down.
This is what happens sometimes when you abandon the running game. It's hard to get back to it because once guys get out of that mentality of firing out and hitting people, hard to get them started again occasionally.
And he's unable to grab it. Thought he might have had position, couldn't hold on, third down.
When teams take shots at the end zone, you've got to defend it the same way you would defend the first down sticks. You defend the goal line exactly the same way. They can't cross that. You played through the receivers, and on that play, that's exactly what they did and batted it away.
The Broncos on third down. It's been a problem. Just 1 for 7 thus far. This is 3rd and 8, and the play goes nowhere. Losing yardage back near the 40 at the 39. And a loss of 3 to bring up 4th. And his kick is good. He got every bit of that one as it's good from 56 yards out. And an update from out west in Oakland. And the 49ers have scored again, really extending that lead. Remember to keep an eye on the ticker, of course, at the bottom of your screen for updates on that game and others around the NFL. The Seahawks offense now, they get ready to come back onto the field. And the turnover last time, that's sort of been symptomatic of their struggles here in this one.
Big word. I like it, though, because you're exactly right.
Like that, don't you?
All game long, they've struggled moving the ball, turning it over on the last possession. Is that word again, symptomatic?
Yeah.
I like that.
Your analysis, symptomatic of the success of this broadcast.
What I like is that you gave me the word, and I just kept using it.
Welcome back now to Denver. So it'll be first down here after the run. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll take this up over the 40 to about the 41. A gain of 3, second down. Here we go with 2nd and 7. And the D-line pinching together must be expecting the run.
19.
They'll run with Darkwa. Oh, he's got a little daylight. And he takes this one down all the way near the 30. A big chunk on the ground there, 27 yards.
Well, partner, I have to say they caught him in the right defense there. Nickel set, 5th defensive back on the field, and they love to run against that because now you typically get a bigger blocker on a smaller defender.
Yeah, because those DBs like you, they want the interception. They're not as worried about the running play, right?
Not at all. And I still remember being in school, and one of my offensive line teammates used to say, boy, I'd love to come downfield and hit you little people.
Good run there. And he'll take this forward for 2, maybe 3. But we do have a flag down, and they're already marching backward. The decision is to decline it and not give them the down back.
They might as well have sent a skywriter above the stadium saying, we don't think you can get the first down against our defense by that decision.
They'll run it now out of the gun. Might have gotten this one down to the 28, and that's all. Call it a gain of a yard, and it's going to bring up 3rd and 5.
This drive is pretty clear. Almost feels like old-school fundamentals, doesn't it? Want to impose their will on the defense. What's that, 5 straight runs?
Yeah, 5 straight carries to start this drive, and like you said, the way it's working, they may just stick with it. Now it's Wilson. He finds his man, Baldwin. And oh, it coughed it up. It's picked up by the Broncos. And he's going to return it to the 21-yard line.
And with that kind of a deficit, you can't afford to make any kind of mistakes. But it's been pretty symptomatic of what we've seen all game with them, isn't it? Down this big in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, you'd say an afternoon to forget, absolutely. They begin the drive with Pumphrey, and maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down. And now here's a carry heading left. 4 yards on the pickup there as they get it back to a more manageable 3rd and 7.
On a 2nd and long, it's really nice to see an offense that has enough confidence to run the football in that situation. I think that goes back to their practice and game planning. They've seen things that they've seen on tape and in previous games that led them to believe that even in a long-distance situation, they can still run the football and gain enough yardage to put themselves in a good spot on 3rd down.
Coming up to the line, and they will need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Now a handoff as they run left side. And he fumbled it. It's on the ground. And the Seahawks have picked it up. Of course, they have the option, and they choose to not take the penalty.
They like the results of the play that they just ran, and they elect to let them stand.
Here's Darkwa. And he's going to be brought down at about the 33-yard line. 8 yards on the pickup, and now they'll have some options on 2nd and short. Time for a break. This one, all over but the shouting. We'll finish it after this. And some options here for the offense on 2nd and 2. From the gun, Wilson finding room to the 20. Hits his target, the tight end, Will Tye. And somewhat of a measure of revenge as he's in for the touchdown, but they still trail big time.
He'll take it, but he won't be able to smile about it.
Boy, it's nice to have that big, reliable target you can go to.
Each and every time. A lot of people see that position as a fallback. Throw it to them when all else fails. Not at all. This guy can make plays, and that's exactly what he just did.
Yeah, play here for a touchdown. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And in hindsight, probably should have stayed where he was, as he'll only get back to the 16-yard line. And coming out now, the Broncos. They have the big lead here late. They protected their home turf well, didn't they?
They certainly did, partner. And just think about how good that feels, because every team has a goal when they start the year to win at home. All right? And sometimes you don't win all of them, but they managed to get that done today. Just think about your routine stays the same. Everything's familiar. You feel right going into the game, and they translated that into a win.
They did indeed. They protected the home field, and now the final stages. And he'll get it up to the 33-yard line. 7 yards there, good enough to move the sticks.
Do my eyes deceive me, or is he getting stronger as this game moves along?
Burst seems just as good here in the fourth as it was way back in the first, doesn't it?
I do believe someone put a lot of time in the offseason and continues to condition during the season in order to continue to kick.
It's caught inside the 25. And they'll take it into the end zone for a Denver score. A big play there with his second touchdown of the game, fourth of the year. And the Broncos add on. Starting to really smell a 4-0 start right now. You can't ask for a better first quarter of the season than that.
And you're not supposed to look ahead, but guess what?
You're going to?
They have to. Because when you get to if you get to 4-0, you're not just thinking playoffs now. You're thinking about, okay, this team has the capabilities of winning a Super Bowl. They could very well be the best team in the NFL at this moment.
I think they played the best. I mean, there have been a few hiccups offensively and defensively, but probably the best team we've seen, right?
And has the ability to get better.
And he'll wind up about 4 yards shy of where he would have been if he had taken a knee, as they'll start at the 21-yard line. They go play action now. Wilson. And now here's another interception. Picked off at the 45. And this one will be returned to right around the 38-yard line. Just a little bit of a rough stretch. 6 interceptions now in these last 2 weeks combined.
I know the easy thing is to go back to mechanics, footwork, things of that nature. I'm also wondering, is he getting fooled by what he's seeing on defense? Has the scouting report changed? Are they showing him things different than what he expected? For the second week in a row, he's throwing it to the guys in the wrong color shirts.
Yeah, he better figure, whatever the reason is, he better figure it out. Fair to say the secondary play, whichever side you're on, hasn't really been a glowing exhibition so far, but a nice job there to prevent a long completion.
I agree with you, but at some point, someone had to make a play and try and stop this exhibition of almost speed racing that we've been watching, huh?
Yeah, it has been quarterback and receiver dominated. That is caught right at the 10-yard line. And he is out of bounds right around the 10-yard line. A really good pickup of 28 yards. So here we go, 1st and 10 now. And now here's a carry heading left. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. This will be a 2-yard loss on the play. Here's Rodgers, and he almost intercepted it. They haven't picked a ball off yet. That probably should have been their first. And it's 3rd down now. And this offense on 3rd down today, not so hot. 2 for 9 to this point. They're looking at a 3rd and goal here. Now a handoff here to his running back. And he will get into the end zone. It's another touchdown. This thing is ugly.
Well, I've got to laugh here, and I really don't want to because the old school in me is not happy about this score this late, not necessary. But this is Madden, isn't it?
Yeah.
This is how it works.
Rub it in. Have a day.
I mean, what does it matter? These guys who are playing in this game, there are no feelings
exactly.
there.
They don't have to face the guy. Well, they might if they're in the same room going head-to-head.
But that's
the virtual guys on the screen don't have to face each other after this one.
In that case, run it up.
Now McManus on to kick this one off. That's fielded in the end zone. And he will be brought down here at about the 17-yard line. The Seattle offense now set to come back out on the field. They are just obviously getting shellacked here in this one, Charles. What's the message if you're a coach for this final drive in a lopsided game like this?
For a lot of coaches,
be honest.
Don't forget today. Don't forget what has happened out here.
Yeah, use that as ammo going forward.
Exactly. Take a great look at that scoreboard. Realize how poorly everything went for us today. Coaching, playing, the whole deal. And never forget it, because
you're not going to want that feeling again.
No, you don't want that feeling again. And who knows? You may meet up with this team again.
Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. Oh, he dropped it. And that's pretty indicative of the way this one's gone.
Brandon, at least there's one bright side to that incompletion.
What's that?
It wasn't an interception.
Wow. You're a nice guy. That was kind of savage. But correct. No pick, just incomplete that time. Call it about a gain of 3, and they'll be looking at a 3rd and 7 coming up. Operating from the gun, Wilson. He's got Lockett. And he's got the first down yardage before he's brought down at the 42. And now we're going to get a timeout. Somewhat pointlessly called with 3 seconds to go in a game that's already been decided. And we're hitting the end of this one, and it looks to probably be the final play. One last shot for Wilson. Flushed out right. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And that will be incomplete. They were going for a consolation TD, but it was not to be. And time has run out now on this game. A big offensive explosion helped leading them to victory. And the defensive guys, they're just saying, hey, put those points up every week. We'll just keep winning.
They will gratefully accept them, won't they? It makes their job that much easier when they're scoring that many points. Allows them to play with a totally different style and a different flow.
So for Denver, hey, they finish a perfect month of September as they move to 4-0 on the new campaign. And they will hit the road next week to take on the LA Chargers. Meanwhile, for the Seahawks, they'll drop down to 1-3. And they'll be at home next week for a date with the Arizona Cardinals. So that'll do it for my partner, Charles Davis, and the best darn crew in the industry. I'm Brandon Gaudin. This has been a presentation of the NFL on EA Sports. The Broncos are winners as we say so long from Denver. it.